Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to be talking about, well, again, keep doing that. This video is going to be about BLM, activists, and, well, of course, Dave Chappelle. Because ever since he was been against the LGBTQ community, aka trans community, to be precise, the far left have decided to go after him. Which is no surprise, because when you don't believe 100% their ideology or agenda, they think you are far right, or you deserve to be canceled and lose everything that you have, because they're lunatics. However, it seems like things are not going too well for some of these members, because they're getting punished, as they should be. The article says, Antifa, meet the white BLM activists who were arrested at an anti-Dave Chappelle protest. A circus of far-left extremists were arrested in Minneapolis at the violent direct action organized against irreverent, funny guy Dave Chappelle's performance last Friday. The venue was relocated to Varsity Theater after woke activists accusing the black comedian of transphobia. Of course they are, because they just don't like being pointed out that the truth of what they did to another trans person. They end up having to talk to Dave Chappelle. Oh, by the way, do you guys realize you're canceling a black person? That's against your motto, isn't it? Also, BLM, are you supposed to be protecting black people and helping them? Why are you going after black people exactly? Very odd. You know, I used to thought that Black Lives Matter was for black people. Oh, okay. Okay. I think I get it. I think BLM is for black people who agree with their ideology and agendas. And black people who don't agree with our agendas are considered not black. You know, it makes a lot more sense if you really critically think about it. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well then. Yeah. Good job, BLM. You have recently shown that you truly care about black people. Yep. Alright, targeting Chappelle sold out comedy show at the initial first venue local earlier in the week and pressured event management to cancel the stand-up act. The cry bullies were successful, forcing the impromptu move just hours before Chappelle was to take the stage on the first of his 3 consecutive days at the Democratic stronghold, showcasing unapologetic comedic repertoire, including jabs that come for all, pull no punches, and trigger the wrath of the alphabet people. Unfortunately for them, it worked, but it also backfired, because the Varsity Theater got called out. Nobody likes the Varsity Theater anymore. The Varsity Theater lost money, and the other theater that allowed Dave Chappelle to begin sold out. So, yeah, it didn't really work out in your favor, did it? At the Varsity Theater staging ground, a slideshow of masked, colored-haired, and mostly white anti-fascists sought to shut down the black comic prior to showtime. Which is what I find hilarious, that BLM is mostly full of white people. It's almost like when you talk about the Democratic side of things, they're usually the ones that are most racist. You know, it's not like, you know, we had this DEI, which is this diversity, equity, and inclusivity, to where, they're pretty much teaching people to hate white people, and black people are always oppressed. Yes, because based on your skin color, somebody's oppressed and somebody's not oppressed, and they're always like this. Great job for the racism there. Gotta love it. One of the show goers waiting in line was hit by an egg thrown by a screaming individual. The Star Tribune reported, according to the Daily Mail, on stage, Chappelle mocked the outraged mob, belting one-line zinger to his fans, "I'd respect them more if there was at least one black person." Ironically, it appears a black police officer handcuffed at least 2 white anti-Chappelle protesters who frequented Black Lives Matter demonstrations and often championed anti-racist causes. However, there was a lone black demonstrator detained on July 22, but she has been far less vocal about her BLM activism on social media than that of her white, raging, tweeting counterparts. Let's talk about a little bit about BLM and exactly on how they operate. So BLM, no, if there's a white person that's getting attacked or injured or killed, BLM will leave because they don't care about white people in the slightest because they're racist. 2, BLM, if a woman that is black was attacked by another black man and then survives, but the police kill that said black man because he was actively shooting her in her apartment with her kids, and they go out to riot or protest this, and the same person that is of color that you would specifically cause was attacked by this black man. And you guys got caught out attacking this woman, belittling this woman, and saying that her problems don't matter because the black guy was dead. Yeah, you guys are doing a really good job for your cause. It's almost like people that really love BLM are a bunch of idiots that only listen to the media, instead of being able to critically think for themselves and actually realize maybe this organization is not great. It's the same thing that we would talk about where we would say the Pride Boys are also not great. I don't think political groups in general are really great because they end up being more bad than good for the most part. I don't think they're necessarily ever good. So the Proud Boys, which would be more leaning to the Republican side, aka the right side, I don't think they're all that great either. So, again, we don't need these really political organizations here being propped up. I think we just need organizations that are not political to not pop up at all. Some of those jail Karens include a morbidly obese blogger who blames her uncontrollable defecation at work on American capitalism, a Grim Reaper cosplayer, and an arson-endorsing repeat arrestee. Among the 5 protesters arrested, 35-year-old Rachel Lee Bean was taken into custody by Minneapolis Police Department under suspicion of felony assault in the first degree and rioting. According to the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office Jail Gloucester, Bean has been released from custody per Minnesota's 36-hour rule. According to a police report obtained by Town Hall VA Public Records request, Bing used her hands, fists, or feet in the alleged assault, resulting in minor injury to the unnamed victim who made a citizen's arrest. The incident was caught on a body-worn police camera done by one of the responding officers. Only subjects in the footage are permitted to view the video. A police records specialist told Town Hall Bing's case is still active. A black police officer arrested Bean to a photo taken at the scene by journalist Nadia Shawi. Footage filmed by Shawi captured Bean, who was leaning on a barricade, evading a spray of mace from a cop. Let's check this Rivoli news. Hard to see this person, honestly. He's just kind of spraying into the wind without us really seeing anything. But, alright. I'm not going to necessarily see what's going on here because he says spraying here. It says spraying. Oh! Yes! Spraying, but I don't really see anything. But it just says spraying into makes that protest after a controversial day show. So that would be proven there. Being who asserts that she is living on a stolen Dakota land in the Twin Cities, is a self-described white, fat, disabled queer. The leftist activist claims she became incapacitated by long COVID, which refers to a case of persisting COVID-19 symptoms in the weeks or months after a patient first contracted the coronavirus. Let's see here. You might be having problems breathing because, 1, you're fat. Stop being fat. Go out to the gym. Eat less. Maybe that might fix some of your COVID symptoms that you may have. Not saying you don't have COVID, but pretty sure a lot of the symptoms could be fixed up by getting on that treadmill. In a January 2021 Medium post titled, "I shit my pants at work." Wow, that's an interesting title. Being dedicated an entire and rather candid article to chronicling her detailed tale of workplace, incontinence, and survival, all while dealing with long COVID under capitalism. Yeah, capitalism is real bad, even though capitalism gives them the most freedom possible. Unfortunately, the way people are running capitalism right now is not necessarily the great way. The diary-like entry narrates how Bean became disabled by productivity demands of this capitalistic hellscape world. She's no stranger to ailments, though. I have known the ways of chronic illness and to be disabled adjacent for big parts of my life. Being typed on a medium listing afflictions that have plagued her, including hashimoto's Epstein-Barr, malaria, tuberculosis, depression, and chronic fatigue. Being disclosed that she then filed a short-term disability claim to take some time off work. Listen, a lot of that might be concerned to your weight. Now, I know that skinny people can be out of breath sometimes and whatnot. That's normal usually when people don't walk or do enough exercise to it. That kind of happens to me sometimes as well, which I'm trying to get back in shape with some weights a little bit and get into better shape because I think I need to be in better shape myself. I don't think I'm in the best shape possible. However, a lot of those issues that she addressed happens to be with obviously being overweight. A lot of those things that she has, which is thyroiditis, malaria, which is, I don't think you can really deal with malaria in terms of like, I think that's a weight problem, but tuberculosis and some of these things can really help. Depression can also help. They can actually, becoming skinny and not necessarily becoming skinny, but bettering yourself, losing weight, making yourself, doing things that are good for you will actually make you feel better and actually help lessen the depression. On top of the being of chronic fatigue can also be another form of just being overweight as well. So losing the weight, bettering yourself, would help lessen these issues. Listen, what I do not like about today's society is that we'll go on and say being overweight, being fat is a-okay, and it's fine for people to be like this. No, it's not. Because being overweight has a lot of health issues that needs to be addressed, and they're not telling people this. They're telling young people, oh, it's okay to be overweight. It's okay to be not to be healthy. No, it's not. We all know it's not. We all know it has health issues. Get yourself out. Start eating healthy. Get a better diet. If you want to go to the gym, go to the gym. By all means, go to the gym. If that's one way. But make yourself better. Be better for yourself, but not for other people. And miraculously, you'll most likely see depression down, and you'll honestly feel better. By me lifting weights and doing all the activities that I have been doing, which I want to get more into the groove, I have been feeling a bit better. I have had more energy, and all that. So it is a great aspect that I highly recommend people get into. On her personal blog, Bean divulged that she was denied disability benefits because her former employee cited a diagnosis of morbid obesity as an invalid reason. There we go. Of course. Morbid obesity, and she has all these fatigues and all these problems, which again relates to, obviously, obesity. Oh, come on now. There, she also discussed fat phobia, how the medical establishment will always weaponize your fatness against you, and the insidious nature of diet culture. It's not the insidious nature of diet culture. It's trying to help better for yourself so that way you do not die of being fat. That's just the truth. When people want people to be less fat, they want them to be more healthy so they can live longer lives. That's the case. Don't believe what this woman says, because there's no such thing as this fat phobia. Nobody's afraid of fat people. People want people to be healthier and live longer lives. Being fat does not help this. The overweight and unemployed blogger complained about food shortages, blaming the overfed mouths of the middle and upper classes, remarking perhaps there would be enough for everyone. Being Journal-style website also raved about disability justice, as well as how ableism is fortified by white supremacy, settler colonialism, capitalism, heteropatriarchy, and other systems of oppression. Yeah, because you're completely oppressed. Yes, because you're definitely oppressed. None of the things that happen to you is your own fault. Yeah, completely avoid accountability. Since raising a whopping 12,000 plus, Bean has created a hardship fund to beg for online donations to support while she's been without an income for months. This spring, Bing launched an anniversary fundraiser to commemorate her long COVID condition, which is her obesity. Turning 2 years old, on the crowdfunding site, Bing revealed she's been unemployed since September, but is pleading for others to pay her rent. Of course she is, because she's lazy and doesn't want to do anything. Therefore, she wants people that work to do everything for her. 5 weeks into her medical leave, Bing penned a Medium article that points to fighting upstream for so long in the field of social services and the psychological warfare of the industry as the reason her body entirely quit. Yeah, no, that's your own fault. Sorry, woman. And would direct any amount of exertion. A casual search for work across a few job boards ended with being in literal tears. Ugh, God, the sensitivity police is just so disgusting. Bing's other tell-all confessionals and self-help advice on Medium includes a guide on how to navigate a sexual relationship as an asexual person. That's not going to help anyone. A warning against loving thy neighbor in the time of fascism, and step-by-step instructions for white allies moving from ignorance to anti-racism. Well, you guys end up usually be the most racist, but there we go. Bing's woes were featured in Yahoo Finance article published in December 2021. Complaining to you reporters about her profound exertion tolerance, according to Bing, eating exertion, responding to voicemails, emails exertion, and paying attention to my clients is exertion. The Yahoo report noted that Bing's bid to receive long-term or short-term disability benefits was watered down due to a lack of clinical evidence, specifically no imaging labs or tests showed anything that demonstrated functional impairment. During the 2021 BLM riots, Bing had helped to organize a hostile takeover of a Sheraton hotel in South Minneapolis for a homeless sanctuary to house almost 200 squatters in honor of George Floyd. Police cleared the commandeered property, and city contractors boarded the building, deeming it a hazard after several days of 9/11 calls and multiple reports of gunfire, sex trafficking, and drug dealing. The police described as uninhabitable with broken glass and needles everywhere. And we have more of these people here that are actively doing all this crazy stuff. And these activists have caused a lot of mayhem and destruction. So I will probably continue this in a later video, because this video is also getting quite long. So what I'll do is I'll continue a little bit more, and then I'll probably post another video afterwards. We'll see. It does get kind of long. Bing's leftist extremism dates as far as back as 2015, when she trekked to Ferguson, Missouri, in support of Michael Brown, the black man killed in a fatal police shooting, followed by a strong armed robbery and an altercation with a firing officer. After the not guilty verdict was announced in the self-defense case of Kyle Rittenhouse, the acquitted teen who shot 3 BLM rioters over in a riot-torn Kenosha, Wisconsin, Bing tweeted, "I hope they burn that town down." Bing has to use social media to incite other acts of far-left violence. After all, after the fall of Roe v. Wade, Bing wrote on Twitter, "Solidarity with everyone fucking shut up." Today, in its days to come, pro-abortion activists had vandalized and firebombed dozens of pregnancy centers as a ununified reaction to the leak of the Supreme Court draft opinion in a radical post response to the court's long-awaited ruling. So that's pretty much what she's doing. Now, Natalina Rizzo Slaughter, 31, was arrested and charged with damaging, mutilating, or defacing any exterior surface of the structure by marking, carving, or graffiti. Slaughter was quickly released without bail. She has a court appearance downtown at the county's public safety facility, scheduled for September 29th, according to Minnesota Judicial Branch. Court documents revealed by Tom Hall, and another October 3rd hearing, where a branch warrant may be issued for Slaughter's arrest if she fails to appear before Judge Emmer Brennan. Slaughter, who also goes by the name Natalie Marie Alexander, per state court records, search and research project authored by Slaughter on reducing victim blaming, and is an inspiring actress with an evil and demonic voice style. According to her backstage profile, one of her uploaded modeling photos shows Slaughter in a street therapist top while marching at another BLM protest in the city of Bloomington. Well, so as you see here, a lot of these people are actively doing stuff that are bad. Dubbed and Quifa Swamp Queen, she has protested goth fashion shoots on TikTok, posing with an axe or a knife stained with fake blood. One of her videos is accompanied with lyrics from the song Disciples by Captain Murphy, whose mixtape includes archive cult footage featuring Heaven's Gate co-founder Marshall Applewhite, who organized the religious group's mass suicide. Don't you want to become a cult leader? Since the death of God, there has been a vacancy open. You can fill that void. Is sung over Slaughter's clip. Slaughter has dressed up as Death the Reaper, coming for Cobb. Why is there 3 KK? Why is there 3 Ks in there? 3 KKKs. See, this is what happens when I go on around people. This is the type of stuff that happens to me. A former member of the Minneapolis Police, who served as the president of the Police Officers Federation of Minneapolis, called for Crow's resignation, mounted when he labeled the relentless violent rise this terrorist movement and leaked email to the police union. So again, we have all these people that have been arrested and all that. Quite amazing stuff, and a lot of these people just going on and being crazy. So, we have a lot of these things going on, and these people have been known to be insane, and they don't really care people. And it looks like Dave Chappelle got some people arrested, which would probably be a good thing. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.